Hi students, we're here with another lesson today. Today we're going to be learning about Thanksgiving. Can anybody tell me a little bit about Thanksgiving? That's right, it's a holiday. Do we celebrate it every year? Yes, we do. Does everybody celebrate it every year? We're not sure? Well, in America, we do celebrate it every year. It's a national holiday. And to introduce our holiday today, we're going to have a special guest. This is Mr. Turkey. We're pretending this is a puppet. All right, kids, why don't you ask Mr. Turkey some of your questions that you have about Thanksgiving? How did it start? That's a good question, Mr. Turkey. How did it start? Well, we actually had some pilgrims come over from England on a big boat, and then they met people over here called the Native Americans, and you're going to learn all about them in our book today. Thank you, Mr. Turkey. That's a great answer. Any more questions for Mr. Turkey, kids? Mr. Turkey, do you get eaten for Thanksgiving? Yes, a lot of turkeys get eaten for Thanksgiving. It's very sad. Thank you, Mr. Turkey. I'm sorry about that. What other questions do we have for Thanksgiving, kids? Alright, no more? Okay, well, we're going to say goodbye to Mr. Turkey. He's going to go away. And we're going to see him again later. He's going to come at the end of our lesson. We can tell him what we learned, okay? Okay, bye. And put the puppet away. And then we're going to move into our video. So I play a video for the kids about the first Thanksgiving, about how the Pilgrims came over on the Mayflower and found the Native Americans, and they helped each other, and they had a big feast. So that's what the video is about. And then based on the video, we're going to fill out our KWL chart. So kids, we're going to do a KWL chart. Who can tell me what K stands for? That's right, what we know. Can we all point to our little big brains? What we know about when we're talking about our first Thanksgiving. Okay, and what does our W mean in our KWL chart? Yes, what does W mean? It means what we want to learn. Thumbs up. Good job. Okay, and then we have one more thing in our KWL chart. What does the L mean? That's right, it means what we learned, and we're going to come back to that later. At the end, we're going to talk about what we learned, okay? So, to start out with our K, what do we know about the first Thanksgiving based on our video we just watched? We know that Thanksgiving is a holiday we celebrate every year in America. That's right. We also know that the first Thanksgiving happened a long, long time ago. And we have one student share that they had a big dinner. That's very correct. Who was there at the first Thanksgiving? The Native Americans and the Pilgrims. That's right. Okay, so let's move on to our L. What do we want to learn? So who can tell me what they want to learn about the first Thanksgiving that maybe we didn't talk about in the video? What did they eat for dinner? You'd be like, besides turkey? Yes, that's a very good question. We'll write that down on our chart. And then, why did they have a big dinner? Maybe we'll know a little bit more about that. Okay, we can learn about that. Who was at the big dinner? Do you think maybe there was more people than the Native Americans and the Pilgrims? Okay, we can write that down. And then, what are the Pilgrims? That's a good question. I know we went over some vocabulary before we watched the video. We can go over that again. Okay, sounds good. Alright, we're going to come back to what we learned later. Let's go over our vocabulary, okay? Alrighty, so we have pilgrims. Those are people from England. Can everybody say England? That's right. So England is across the Atlantic Ocean, right? So we're a country we call America. There's other countries in the world, and one of them is called England. That's where the Pilgrims came from, okay? And they sailed all the way to here, on the East Coast. So not in California. They were on the other side. All right. So that's what the Pilgrims are. Then a colony. A colony is like a a place that the Pilgrims lived. They lived in a colony. It's kind of like a town, lots of towns. Okay. The Mayflower. We're going to tell you what the Mayflower is. Remember that from our video? No? Okay. So the Mayflower was a big boat that they sailed on across the sea on the Mayflower, right? And it was a big boat. Harvest. So when we harvest things, we're harvesting food. So they had a lot of food. So when the food was done growing, they took all the food. Native Americans. So Native Americans are the people who lived here before the Pilgrims came. They already were living here in this land. And so they already knew where everything was and how to grow things. And they had tribes. Who can tell me what a tribe is? Yes, that's a good guess. A tribe is a group of people, and they live together, and they have the same culture. Culture is a big word, too. They do a lot of the same things. They speak the same language. Yeah, so a tribe, a Native American tribe. They're all the same people. Good. Okay, so we're going to move on, and we're going to actually read our book for today. So exciting. We're going to read our book, and we're welcome to ask questions. We just have to remember that we're going to raise our hands and wait to be called on. Exactly. So how do we sit on the rug when we are reading books? That's right, crisscross applesauce, hands in our basket. Right, good job. And so we're going to sit still so we don't bug our neighbors, but if we have to say something about the book, we can raise our hand, and I might call on you, but I might say save it for later, okay? Okay, sounds good. So we're going to read our book. So then we read the book. It talks all about the Pilgrim's first Thanksgiving. And then I'm going to model how we would pick out facts from the book, and we're going to write them on the board so they have an idea of what a fact is. So a fact is something that's true. It's part of history. An opinion would be like, I like apples, right? But a fact would be like, there were apples in Thanksgiving. I don't know if there's apples, but that's a fact, and that's an opinion, okay? So we're writing facts. We're writing things that are true. It's not I like or I think. It's going to be there is or there was, okay? So we know there and was is a part of our sight words, right? So we've done that. And then I would model some facts for them, and then I would send them to their tables to do their own assignment, and they get to draw one of their facts so that they can prove that they know what happened, what they're talking about. This is one of the examples of their sheets of paper for the drawing, and some of our facts. There are sentence frames. One fact about the first Thanksgiving is, and then they're able to fill it out. And we're using nice, neat handwriting, spelling words as best as we can. We also have vocabulary words written on the board so that they can fill those out. This is what their worksheet looks like. And then we would wrap it up and close it out with another Mr. Turkey. We can tell him what we learned. And so that would be my lesson for kindergarten on the first Thanksgiving.